Welcome back to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. I'm sitting here with Miranda Hernandez, and tell us in one sentence what you do.
Hi there. So I own Solutions by Miranda, and I offer administrative solutions to the small business owner.
Sweet. And we're actually redoing this intro right here.
Yeah.
Because the entire first part of the interview, my microphone was facing backwards. So when the audio gets a little bit bad after the intro sequence, you'll know why, but you'll also hear when I discover it. So that's going to be interesting when I listen back to it for myself. So we have one advertisement for this episode right here, and it's advertising the advertising space. So if you'd like us to promote your show at the beginning of every episode, or as many episodes you'd like to purchase, you can do that. We also have post-roll ads, which are tremendously cheaper than the pre-roll ads, for obvious reasons. And so that's the advertisement for today. And Chuck, roll the intro music.
This is a show where we have real conversations with the business owners and entrepreneurs here in Colorado Springs, doing things in the community of Colorado Springs.
All right, so Miranda, let's tell us a little bit about your business. Why, how long have you been in business, and exactly what you do?
Sure. So I've been in business for a year and a half now. I started in March of 2019.
Nice.
And kind of started on a whim. It was just like a fingers crossed, let's see how this goes. And it went well. It's going well.
Sweet.
And basically what I mean by I offer administrative solutions for small business owners is I help small businesses kind of run the admin portion of their businesses in a more efficient and effective way. And so there's a lot of tools and systems that can be put into place for things like scheduling meetings, for things like, CRMs, and like how often do I follow up with people? I'm just trying to keep track, right? And there's a lot of stuff that comes with owning a business that takes a really long time that, quite honestly, business owners didn't sign up for,
For sure.
You're like, I just want to do my thing, and then you're not doing your thing anymore. And so my goal is to help business owners with that admin portion so that it does run kind of in the background like a machine, and they can really get back to like the creativity and the building of what they started,
the stuff that's going to help the business grow.
Exactly. And I think that's really common with small business owners is like when you shift your focus to one thing, like the other stuff is dropped because it's just you, right? Or it's you and your small team. And then you like shift your focus again, and then the other stuff is dropped. And so it's a juggling act. And if we can get stuff like running in the background, then it just provides efficiency.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't like the administrative stuff.
Well, who does? I mean, I get that a lot. I do. I get that a lot of like, wait, you actually like to do this stuff? And yeah, I do.
So where do you think that started? Why do you love it so much?
So, my dad is OCD. So I grew up in a very like precise home. We had a very clean home. And so that was like, I think very nurtured. It like from very young, order and systems and cleanliness were a massive attribute in myself and my family. And it became just really common to kind of have a place for every single thing. So from really young, I like joked about it yesterday, but like I would sit and like organize my hair ties and my hair bows and like make sure that they all had their little spots.
Okay.
And, so it was just kind of a weird kid from pretty early on, and big into like color coordination and alphabetizing things. And
I do that when I got grounded.
Yeah,
because I had nothing else to do.
I did that for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just something that like really, it's as natural as breathing to me. Like if I sit somewhere long enough, you'll see me kind of just like start to fix things and to order things.
Okay, I should have made everything chaotic before I got here.
I actually get that. A lot of people are like, oh, they feel weird when I like walk into their houses and stuff. They're like, is it dirty? I'm like, no, it's fine.
So you're like the aficionado of organization.
Yeah, I guess so.
So how's business been with the pandemic and everything going on?
I got really, really lucky. Like I said, I started in March of 2019, and
do you know what day, March?
Oh gosh, no.
My birthday's in March, that's why I asked.
Oh, fun. No, I don't remember the day. I'll have to look it up. But the way that I originally designed the business was to be virtual. That was the goal. That was the point. Because, part of the entrepreneur shift, I'm like, I really love my job, right? All the jobs that I've worked on, I'm like, this is everything. I really love what I do. My least favorite part is going to work. I'm like, I don't enjoy getting up and getting dressed and going somewhere and sitting in some other person's chair for 8+ hours. It's just not my favorite. But I love the work. And so kind of just reconstructing what work looked like for myself. I'm like, I can do this work and sit in my own chair.
At your home.
At my own home, yeah. So I designed it to be virtual.
Nice. So since March,
the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
So you've already been set up for the shutdown and everything.
Yeah, I was very, very lucky. And, I know a lot of businesses had to on the flip of a dime had to kind of go virtual and figure it out. And I was really lucky that it was already virtual for me. I think the biggest change was I would do a lot of my weekly meetings with my clients in person and meet up at coffee shops or restaurants. And so that just started happening over Zoom.
That's probably saved you a lot of time.
Absolutely.
A lot of gas.
Lots of gas. I remember there's a joke going around the internet that who else is getting 3 weeks to the gallon or something like that.
Nice. I like that.
I was like, that's funny. Yeah. But yeah, so I was really lucky and not super impacted by the pandemic personally. That being said, the clients that I worked with, everyone that I was already working with when the pandemic hit was affected really hard, to various degrees.
Did you lose clients because of that?
I had clients that, had to take a break. Most of them came back. But a good chunk of them had to take a break, and I don't blame them at all. I think a lot of people at the beginning there freaked out.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a lot of uncertainty.
Absolutely.
At the beginning. Everything, no one was going anywhere.
Yeah. It was it was the world immediately changed. And so a lot of people just stopped all spending, stopped everything, right? And so that was a major challenge for my business, because knowing that I'm offering the same thing, I'm doing the same work, I'm still providing all of the same services, and now I just have to basically learn how to ask people to trust me, and trust themselves and trust that their investment in their business is going to be worth it. And I saw a lot of my clients rise to the occasion of choosing their business, even when it's scary, right? Because I know a lot of businesses that were okay, we're just going to pause, and we're now at a 6-month pause, right? Or something like that.
For sure.
And so I just
some of them had no choice.
Yeah, that's true. But I just really respect that of we're just going to keep going, and this is the world now, and let's shift and let's pivot and see what we can do. And I've seen a lot of companies kind of thrive out of this,
And that happens every time there's a major disruption in history. You know, the certain businesses come out of those recessions. And some of the biggest businesses in the world have actually come out of recessions.
I heard that. I think Uber came out of the 2008 recession or something.
For sure. And that was inevitable. We don't know how the timelines work, but that was going to happen regardless.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool that's been kind of a big thread with even just business owners that are close to me of yes, this year has been incredibly hard, and it's been one of the coolest years and the most, I don't know, the projections I think have just gone so far because we've had to work under the weirdest circumstances.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's changing. A lot of people realized, and a lot of employers have realized that they were wasting time and space for they realized there was just some kind of control thing. They thought they needed people there in their building at a cubicle. But then there a lot of them realized it's a waste of money,
space, all sorts of things. Yeah, it's really true. And
just inefficient, kind of archaic in a way.
A little bit. Yeah. And I was curious about that, and pretty early on I was like, what's this gonna make the world look like, right? For school, for all sorts of things. But I was curious of how many companies would just stay virtual or, go half and half or whatever.
And the companies that do that may have an advantage on the ones who want to be stubborn. So, because
true.
They're going to be able to take that money or whatever, the time too as well, and invest that back into their business.
Exactly.
And you kind of help people do that in a way, like a metaphor, as a metaphor.
I do. And honestly, it's kind of like, well, like I was saying earlier, it's a space thing in your brain. When you're that overwhelmed or that kind of frustrated with something as insignificant as administration. And I say insignificant not because it doesn't matter, but because, I don't know, how do I explain it? There's like this Venn diagram that's out there about like stuff that's really important but brings you no money. And then there's like stuff that brings you a ton of money but isn't important at all.
The Pareto principle?
Maybe.
The 80-20 principle?
Maybe, something along those lines. And admin is one of those things that's like really important, but it's the thing that's like super easy to kind of just leave in the background. And it's that thing that's like, it's like the junk drawer of your life or of your business. And, you're like, I could use that space for something else and whatever. But really looking at the admin of your business, like, can take that kind of cap you feel like you're hitting in your business completely away. And like suddenly you have system there so that you can get more clients, so that you can, have a follow-up system, so that your payment processing is running smoothly. Stuff like that you didn't even realize is holding your business back can just be gone.
If you were to break administration into 3 branches, what would those be?
Into 3 branches?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. What a question. What do you mean by that?
Taking everything you do, and if there's 3 sides of it, I like to break things into 3s.
I see. I see what you mean. I would say, oh, gosh, how do I explain it? I was going to say CRMs, but that's quite specific. So I would say more like your client management. Whether that be a CRM or not, like the way that you handle your clients, your outward facing, this is how I talk to my people. You have your like internal management of how you handle like schedule, money, all that stuff that happens inwardly for you that your clients don't see. I would say would be the second portion. And then I would say kind of your like sales funnel of like, how are you getting people in, or how are people hearing about you? Kind of like your marketing aspect.
So, sweet. So like marketing, and then administration. It's all administration.
It's all administration.
I just like to break things into 3s because it helps me understand things better. It's like a minimalist approach, kind of organizing things.
I like that. That's kind of cool.
I'm organizing things, I guess.
Look at you.
I'm like Einstein when it comes to organizing. He's very chaotically organized.
I get that. Yeah. I also really love those people in my life because it is a different form of organization. Yeah, for sure. I had this conversation with my partner recently where I feel like my brain is like a Dropbox menu. Like, you like hit something and then there's like stuff underneath it. You hit something else and there's stuff underneath it. And I was like, I feel like your brain's more of like a cloud and there's just stuff living. Yeah. So are you kind of a cloud space too?
Yeah, a lot of thunder and things going on crazy.
There we go.
More like a hurricane.
There we go. Stuff's coming. It's just
flying. Yeah, I know for my video production business, I need someone to help with that. Administration actually, so maybe we could discuss that.
I love that. That sounds fun.
Because there's certain things that I neglect, and then it weighs on you, and then kind of just like it can impair you to have any kind of progress.
Absolutely.
I guess they call that paralysis analysis.
Yeah.
And you just got so much going on, you don't do anything.
Yeah, it's true. It's like sadly really true. I was talking about this yesterday where I did some research and saw like a really big number of businesses that like inevitably go out of business because of something.
I just realized something.
Oh,
my microphone's backwards. I was like, why does my voice sound not good?
Oh, let's fix that.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that we weren't recording.
Oh, we are.
I was like, oh no.
There's always something.
I get that. Sure, that's true.
That was it. I was typing it all the way. I'm glad I noticed it. I was like, I thought it was just because I wasn't hearing myself right. I thought it was just my own brain, but then I realized, no, it's not.
There you go. That sounds
a lot better.
It does.
And I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Okay.
We're rolling and we're keeping it going and making things happen. So
we could hear you.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
at least I could. I don't know.
and that will never happen again. So. So getting acclimated to the new equipment and making things just sound the best they can. Turn that down a little bit. And sweet. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I realized the show is not
You're
right.
totally good. I don't remember what I was saying, so we'll just move on.
All right, cool. So goals, future. Where do you want to go with this? Do you want to hire employees? Do you want to scale it, or do you want to keep it small?
Gosh, I think I would like to keep it small. I do have an employee already. Adore her. Her name's Shella.
Nice.
And I think I'd like to hire a couple
Does
more.
she do the administration?
No, not by herself. No.
Oh, yeah.
She does help me a lot, though.
Okay.
And she helps me have a life. That's what I tell her all the time.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really easy to not have a life when you're a business owner.
100%.
It's your baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you could work on it literally 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
So I tell her she helps me have a life. I'm like, you help me walk away sometimes.
I guess that's why they say it's a lonely journey, entrepreneurship is.
Yeah.
I never really quite got that, but I get it because you can get caught up in your own stuff and not focus on anything else.
Yeah. And that's why I really love kind of like the networking aspect around small business is because it's just like mentally healthy for you to get out and like see other people that are doing it too, you know, and even just being in that space with other people of like, okay, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one sitting in my home office, like dying a little inside because I'm on my 60th hour, right? And you're like, I can do this. I can do this, right?
Usually you don't even notice, like some of the hours, at least for my business, don't even feel like hours. I don't even count them as hours because it's what I would do if I wasn't getting paid for it.
Right. And it definitely gets to that point where you're like, well, there's like work, and then there's like work.
Yeah.
You're just like constantly working. You don't even realize it.
Until you burn out.
Until you burn out. Yeah. But growth, I think, like I said, I'd like to keep it small. One of my biggest goals for Solutions by Miranda is to grow it in a networking type way. So what I mean by that is I think there's a lot of validity in like being good at something and like having a niche and sticking to that niche. I think the times that I've struggled the most as a business owner is when I try and take on like the everything, right? Like I could do that. Yeah, sure. I could do that. Yeah, why not? Right. And like for whatever reason, for money or for like exposure, whatever. And then you kind of like hate certain aspects of your business or your job because it's not really what you want to do. And it takes a lot of like self-awareness and boundaries to be like, this is what I actually like set myself out to do. So that being said, I really would like to like stay in the systems automation and CRM fields and then really start to like outsource, if you will, my like some of the other aspects of what administration can look like, website edits, I don't know, photography, I can't think of more things, but like really partnering with other small businesses to like provide support for other small businesses, if that makes sense, right? And so like I'm not going to try and be a one size fits all type business. I really would like to partner with other people and provide small businesses with solutions across the board, you know, and like give referrals and get referrals and kind of just create this like net of we've got each other's back, you know.
Of other people who do administrative stuff?
Just other people that are in small business, you know, like the website people, like, you know, every small business owner gets to that point where they need their website like professionally edited. And like, can I do that a little bit? Sure. Do I want to pretend like I do that for a living? Like, no, there's people that do that really, really well. And I would rather give them over to that person.
Well, yeah, for sure. Yeah. And when you delegate, you can scale.
Exactly.
You can free up time. You can choose whether you want to spend your time on your business, your extra time, or not on your business.
Exactly.
It depends on, I
exactly.
guess, who you are. I would probably want to reinvest it in my business. But that's me, though. That's where I am right now in my life, too. I mean, it's just perfect for me.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of how I'd like to grow solutions is to partner with other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. So if you were administrating this podcast, what would some of the things you do? I'll give you like some context of what goes on. We book interviews, we look for sponsorship, we edit each episode, and we have 5 episodes a week, which is insane. And so booking 5 episodes a week, editing 5 episodes a week, trying to find a sponsorship, because that's that's how the show makes money. This is how, because the show is a business itself, and that's the way I had a really like a business brain blast about a month ago, and I'm like, I'm going to take this business, this podcast to the next level and make it a legit business. So I guess that's the 3 elements of the show, and editing. And then we also edit 4 clips from each episode, and then we have to write descriptions, thumbnails, make thumbnails, and so that's pretty much everything that goes on.
A couple things. I think for sure I would get someone kind of whose sole purpose and life's goal is to edit and just do that portion of the business.
Got that coming.
Yep. I would do and just like let them own that, right? Usually that's a person who's very good at that. Let them own that. I would have someone be like quote unquote your face and be the person who's out meeting people, who's out getting people to come and do interviews, like the person who likes to be out with other people.
What if I like doing that part?
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
You can be that person. Like for me, like I know I'm not that person for my business. So I'm like,
okay,
there's that, because I'm quite introverted. And I'm like, that's really hard for me. But do that. And then I would set up a system even within that of like, if you guys have a business, or I'm sorry, not a business, a website already, creating like an application on the website that like automatically has them fill out kind of their business details, maybe a couple questions that you might need.
Calendly's perfect for that.
Yeah,
I actually have
that.
like a scheduler for the Calendly now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you went through it, but
No.
I
don't think so.
The schedule is like every episode's at 10 a.m. Every day, so they can pick which day works best for them. And we have like 7 to 10 episodes planned out already, and so people can go in there and they can fill it out. And then there's only 1 question on there. Well, 3 questions: name, email, and then what is your business?
Yeah.
So just to get a feel.
Exactly, and I would really use something like that to expedite the process, right? So you're not having to like sit and do emails, but you can just have a conversation with someone of like, yes, I'd really love to come and be on the podcast, and then you can kind of just start sending them through your little stream, right?
What's cool is the podcast actually, ever since I started, I thought I was going to be spending a lot of time on outreach, trying to find guests.
Yeah.
But that kind of just automates itself.
Yeah.
Because people want to be on the show.
Absolutely.
So that's
cool.
how I knew it was a good show, like from the beginning, because I thought I was going to have to spend a bunch of time on that, but no, people come to me.
But it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the best. That's kind of how my business went. It's like, okay, jump on. I guess this is going.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what was the third aspect?
Sponsors. Finding sponsors.
I might make that your same. So like once the meet has happened, right? Like, and then I would have someone be over the follow-up, or put a system on that follow-up of like
meet with a potential advertiser.
No, for the people who are going to be on the podcast.
Okay.
So like have someone be in charge of kind of that follow-up process, sending out a reminder, or, hey, I noticed we met this last week and I noticed you haven't booked a time, stuff like that. Kind of like hand that over to somebody, and then
Calendly, I have the pro version. You can program follow-ups.
Exactly. So doing that, and then coffee, sorry.
Nice.
And then I would maybe even make your face person, or in this case you, the same person that's going out. I don't know. I feel like that could be fun, could be easy, going out to like coffee shops and sitting there, working there for a little while, and like, oh, did you know I do a podcast? Would you guys like to sponsor it this week? I can promote your coffee, whatever, right? And
yeah. And then I forgot there's another aspect too, which is growing the audience, because that's how that's what the sponsors pay for. Is the audience.
Absolutely.
And so the bigger the audience, the more money we can make.
Yeah. And I really do. I feel like a lot of that falls kind of on your people person to, for lack of a better word.
Because now I'm going to be asking guests to share. Because I was letting them do it on their own volition, but then actually only 1 out of 5 would do it. So it's just something to remind them, definitely share it, because that's kind of the biggest thing, I think, bigger than anything that's going to grow the show is having guests, because that's where the content's going to come from. And also that they get their whole network gets introduced to the show when they share it. So
it's true.
So that's I want to get a billboard downtown. And I'm actually going to print off business cards that, because you can listen on Spotify if you guys are watching this on Facebook.
Cool.
It's on Spotify, it's on Castbox, Stitcher, everywhere it's available, and that as soon as we upload it to one spot, it gets uploaded to all of those.
Awesome.
So that's automated as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you have it on YouTube as well?
It's on YouTube as well. For the video versions are on YouTube and Facebook. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that way, when you're on Facebook and you want to share it, it's native there.
That's great.
Because actually, I don't know if you noticed, but Facebook and YouTube are actually big competitors in the video realm.
Yeah, they are.
And if you put a YouTube link in your if you try to promote a YouTube link on your Facebook, the algorithms actually don't show it to many people. And that's
dumb.
why if you put a YouTube video on Facebook, you barely ever get likes or anything, you why is this? It's just a waste of time. Don't do it. Just upload it natively to Facebook and share it there.
Facebook's so stingy.
Yeah. Well, they're competitive.
I mean, I know.
They recently just copied TikTok. Instagram did, but Facebook owns Instagram.
Right, with the reels and everything. Yeah,
Yes.
I saw that. It's turning into a funny world. Yeah, because even Instagram had copied Snapchat originally with the stories, and they're just really all getting in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, and if you think about it, if you have an Android phone, they literally stole that from Apple and have paid Apple millions of dollars in courts, but they just keep fighting it.
Of what? They stole what?
The phone, the whole look of it. They had patents. Apple had patents on this look.
I see.
Of a smartphone, and they just totally didn't care about the lawsuits that were coming.
Wow. They were like, whatever.
They were like, okay, 20 million, 40 million. We're making way more than that.
Dang, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all copy, but everything's a copy. That's the way I look at it. Everything, even down to the genetics, is just built upon itself and better iterations.
It's just like a spin on. It's literally like a new perspective on the a remix. Yeah, exactly. a new perspective on the similar thing.
Yeah, and that's how we advance.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't even know why I went off on that.
We went. It's fine.
Yeah.
I went with you.
Yeah. It was fun. So, is that thing wrong? Okay. I do need some systems in place for that stuff.
Yeah.
Making sure everything's going, and I think this thing really systematizes a bunch of stuff. It's got the microphones are automatically in mic edited kind of.
Yeah.
Because this thing has built-in editing software into it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing. I'm actually going to do sound effects. I could be doing that the whole time.
The whole time.
I should have hit that button when my microphone was backwards.
Oh, there we go.
It was a wah, 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 wah.
Oh my gosh, I forget. You can't hear. That's
Yeah.
so funny. You're thinking we're crazy. I'm imagining.
Nice. So I guess we can start wrapping up the interview.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to let people know about your business? And
Gosh, no. I guess I'm looking for referrals right now. I'm looking for some new clients. I love working with solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, and people who are kind of just doing something different. Some people who are maybe fairly new in their business and are just kind of flailing a little bit. And I don't mean that in any derogatory way. I just mean that there's better ways, and you maybe feel like there might be, and you don't know how to get to them. I would love to chat. You guys can find me on Facebook or Instagram, or you just go to solutionsbymiranda.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, this has been the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Awesome. Oh, now I'm playing with it. There's the audience.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I love it. I can't wait to really get it down and get used to it.